please feel free to interact.
Absolutely. Here we go. Here we go. Inspiration Nation. Hello, Lee Kemp here for another week on the podcast. Here with my very good friend, Jose Noya. Ryan Boniface, absent this week, sending lots of love out to him. And most importantly, as this goes out on our podcast feed, we want to wish everyone a very, very happy New Year. It is New Year's Eve. I mean, it's not really. It's the 20th of December and we just recorded our Christmas episode. And if you're with us live, you know that. But in podcast land, it is New Year's Eve. So I hope everyone's gearing up for a fantastic night. I myself will probably be in bed by 9 o'clock, but at my age, that's a good time. I mean sleeping, by the way. I realise how that just happened there.
Well, go with it, Lee.
Maybe not. We'll see what happens. You never know.
Go with it.
Moving on swiftly. Jose, what have you got for us to discuss this week?
Right, this week I'm talking about a Rolling Stones song. I didn't know where it came from, but I have mentioned it on the podcast previously, where it talks about you don't always get what you want, you get what you need. I'm going to repeat that. You don't always get what you want, you get what you need. Now I'm going to sing this. I'm going to give you a treat, everybody. Bit of Christmas singing from Jose. I can see Lee already going on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you. It goes like this. You ever never heard it? People have not heard it. I hadn't heard it. I even heard of it. It should have been because Rolling Stones are massive. So it goes like this. You don't always get what you want. You get what you need. And that's the sort of tagline. Anyway, really good. So the reason I chose this is because actually, Lee, what comes to mind for you on that quote?
I'm just astounded by you singing, if I'm honest.
I think I've stunned Lee into silence, which is very unusual.
Yeah, you have a little bit. I was just looking up some Rolling Stones songs when you did that, so I've distracted myself through the wonder of the internet.
Okay. Because I didn't know where it came from, actually. So when I was talking about this, I didn't know. I heard it on a program called Alone, and someone said that, and I thought, I really love that. I love that. Where's this come from? So I Googled it, and it came from the song 1969, I think it was, if I remember rightly. I don't know if that was the right year, but yeah, amazing. Anyway, that's what I just want to get your view on it.
Okay, it was 1969, having just looked it up there. And I was going to ask you how you heard about knowing the song, but you've answered that already. And I've heard, I mean, I don't know if it's originally from that song or somewhere else, because I think I've heard that in a different way as well, and I'll try and look up and see what that is. But I really like the quote. Yeah, and I'm really trying to figure out where it was. I heard something similar before. But I really like that. There's that thing of you think you know what you want, but you don't. But when, as a species, we're not always good at that. We kind of think we know what it is, but actually what you need is something completely different. And sometimes you don't even realise you've got it until it's happened, or even it's gone past. And I like the poetry of that quote. And I think that as well. We've talked about it before. I mean, in one way, if I look at my life now, 20-year-old me would be very pleased with myself, because I've kind of got everything I could have dreamed of, in a way, if that makes sense. As you know, I'm very goal orientated, so there's a million other things I want to do, but from where I was there. But then in another way, the things I treasure most are the things that I weren't even on my radar when I was that age at all. And actually, no, it's not true, because there's probably some things that I would have saw as objectives that just aren't on my list anymore. But I still think I'd be really pleased with myself, if that makes sense.
What are those things, Lee?
I don't know. Well, I do, but I don't know if they're talkable things.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, don't worry.
Let me think about articulating it.
Yeah, have a little.
You give me your view on it while I think on that.
It's
good. I really like it. It stumped me, but in a good way. Like you're going to say, it is very powerful. Anyway, I'll stop stealing your talking.
Well, it's powerful, isn't it? Because I think you referenced it before. You get all this Instagram stuff saying you should be mega rich and have a fast car, and I think you coined it before. You said, look, I've got a nice car. I've got a good enough car. I've got a good enough house. I'm happy. I love that. And we always, fed this thing that we need more. And of course, as a species, we tend to want more. but I think there's a bit of a stoicism where, have we got what we need? If I got what I need, well, I'm very lucky. I've got a roof over my head. I've got food on the table. I've got running water that I can go and have a drink anytime. There's people in the world don't have that, especially this time of year. We talk about when you talked about that song as well, and talk about music, and you talk about feed the world, and that happened, and it's still going on, and we're very lucky. So I think things do change, and I think change can fuel a lot of things, but I think you've got to be true to yourself and just recognize what you have and what can you treasure that you already have, like your health, or you can read, you can speak, very things we take for granted every day. Anyway, going back to what you don't always get what you want, you get what you need. So you've got these big goals, right? So sometimes I find, I mean, Lee, you probably remember this, where I said, hey Lee, I've got this big vision for something, and you helped me build this whole thing. We was working together, but I didn't necessarily get what I wanted, did I? Really, when you think about it, when I thought about that, we got pretty close, but I definitely got what I needed, right?
Yes.
Because through that process, right, and Lee will test it, through that process, I realised what I didn't want. And Lee knows what I didn't want. It was a very technical role, and I didn't want that. And that made me realise that what I didn't want, and what I did love was the people part. And so that's what shaped it, and is what made me lead to where I am right now. Oh, what's going on, Lee? There's high tolerance to something. I'm hearing something. What's going on? Is that your phone? Oh, hang on, Lee's got. Anyway, I don't know if we'll get struck for that, but anyway, this is what I'm talking about. Like, so you've got a big goal, big ambition, and by aiming for that, you might not want that really. You'll get what you need. You'll get the lessons. And so at the minute, I'm driving lots of coaching culture stuff. And I want to get coaching into the world. I want it to be bigger, right? Tony Robbins, did a fabulous job getting it into places, but now we want to get it everywhere. Everybody needs to get it everywhere, so it should be affordable to everybody. People better get it, and this is why we do this podcast for free, so people can tap into this, develop for free. And I've got Joe Wright, who's on social media. We've read her book, and her book is here. I'll bring it out. Hang on. Let me bring it out, because without... hang on, we're seeing a game of tennis. But typical way, another coaching legend. But I do this because I love having these books near me as well, because they're quite inspiring. I like having books like this near me because it reminds me of the lessons as well. As well in the podcast, this reminds me of what I've got to keep on track. So, Joe Wright, no more terrible managers. I did
nearly.
I did say it, actually, very under my breath, but what I'm talking about here is that Joe's very passionate as well by creating affordable coaching, and I think that's what it is. What I've got out of all this is that I want to make this accessible to everybody, and I've been coaching for over 20 odd years now. Lee will know my journey, and we're doing this podcast as a result of that. Like, this is why it's happening, because we want to get out to lots and lots more people everywhere. And so, what did I get? What I needed? That was what I got out of that thing where I was working in an industry that we probably know about, and that I realised what I didn't want. I've been working it for years. I'm pretty good at it, but I know from that I didn't want it, and I didn't want that. I got what I needed. I needed to go through that to get to now, and that's the thing we don't necessarily get. And also, being flexible on the actual end goal, because sometimes it doesn't exactly happen how you want it. It's a version of it, but I usually find that it's better than you usually would find it. In fact, now something that's happening which is pretty fantastic. I'm working with people that I really, really enjoy working with, like Lee here, which we're still together. He puts up with me, and then
I don't know why.
He doesn't know why, but he just does. You see, that's why it's so beautiful. And then in my place of work, I'm working with some wonderful, beautiful people. And that's what I also realised. It's not about what I realised. I thought I wanted a position in my work, but it wasn't that really. You can have a great position, but you don't necessarily love it because you realise something. And what I realised was I need to work with people I really enjoy working with. I don't care what it would be. I could be cleaning the floors. I could be doing whatever. For me, it's the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And what I needed to have, so I needed to work with people that I didn't want to work with. And I didn't know that at the time, but now I know, right? So I know that's really important for me to, if I ever go for anything, that I actually, who are people going to be involved in this? Am I going to be able to work with them? Are we got similar viewpoints, but we can still disagree and challenge each other, but in a way that is really healthy, right? And that is what I needed. And so this is why I love this quote. It's helped
No, it's
shape a
great.
lot of the things
I love
that
that.
that come. Anyway, so go on. Lee,
No,
yeah,
I was just affirming you, saying I love that, and I've got a similar thing, and I've come to realise that over the years from like the work bit is definitely for me, and similar to you, working with people you want to work with is key. But for me, and I've learnt this, like a lot of people, it was all about position, title, blah blah. When I'm kind of looking up at it, but then as I've gone up, I've realised the most important thing isn't job title or position or how you're perceived. It's what you actually get to do day to day. And if you enjoy what that is, the rest of it falls away. And it leads in. I stumbled a bit at the start, Jose, and I'll put myself out there now because it's something I'm always a bit uncomfortable about talking about. But I'm going to put it out there because it's all part of that. And it's the goals thing, like you said, because they've happened, but they've not happened. So the bit I'm always uncomfortable talking about is, for me personally, and through my lens, but my level of comfort in my life is well beyond where I thought it would have been. Like, well beyond. And there'll be people who look at it and not think that's the case, whatever else. I say I don't, but it's well beyond what I would have imagined was in my reach, which I don't take for granted whatsoever. And it's all fleeting. That 12 months' time, that might not be the case, but it is now. And it's only because that's not my driver that it's happened. I sincerely believe that, because there was a long time when that was the driver, but that's not. Being comfortable isn't a goal. It's a symptom of other things. And I think once that stopped being my goal and what I do and deliver and trying to keep that as much as possible in the realm of enjoying what I do, the other things followed naturally, but because I was focused on what I was doing. And it's back, a very early podcast, I kind of didn't align with you on the whole enjoy the journey statement, which is crazy because I really do totally now. And actually, and ironically, it's only because I'd been enjoying the journey for the previous, when we started this 5 years or so, 10 years now, but 5 years at the time, was that I was where I was. And that's what's kept me going is the enjoyment of doing what I do. So actually, yeah, that's a big part. It's an epiphany for me, is enjoying what I do. And that's what's allowed me to realise some goals, but it wasn't the goal in itself. And actually continuing to do things I like doing and enjoy doing and be good at and can challenge myself and learn new things, that's where my focus is now. And like you said, it's, you don't always get what you want, you get what you need.
Yeah, I love that. And same as you, Lee, when I was younger, you were having positions, you got a sort of different sort of you got a different strategy, different sort of aim, because you want to get up, you want to get a decent living, all that sort of stuff. So sometimes that's a driver, and sometimes I think, is that the right driver? Maybe it is for the time, but then you seem to lean your ladder up against the wrong wall, and that's what I was doing, and that's really painful.
Yeah.
As I've talked about it in the podcast, it was really painful. So what I want you to do, everybody's listening to this, is to avoid that pain. This is why we share it, right?
No, you're right, and I think that is a part. I felt like climbing the pyramid was the only way to kind of get that particular goal, and we don't talk about work stuff, but I'm in a very different role now that's in a bit of a more of an obscure position, if you like. And I've never been happier because not that I didn't, I loved all the aspects of my job, but I'm in something I love even more now. Yeah. And
it was interesting, actually. We can't really get specific, but I could sense something, and I don't know, I'm not going to talk about, well, I am, but I'm not. There was definitely a shift from you. And you wasn't sure. I sensed something, and it almost felt like you got shifted out of your comfort zone. You went, and I could see something, but then you just embraced it. And what happened was,
I completely did.
Oh, I just saw some acceleration, and like you've never been like I've never seen you happier, ever.
I remember sitting in a room.
The happiest I've seen you talk about everything. Like honestly, more content, everything. I've just seen it. You're just more happier for everything.
I remember sitting in a room and being so far out my comfort zone in knowing how everything's sat together and what we do and what the skills are and everything like that. And I don't know. I'm now seeking out that feeling and finding new things. You're right. And it wasn't on. And it's actually on your quote. It wasn't something I applied for. It's something I was asked to do. And I didn't know it was what I needed. But my God, it absolutely was.
It's mad, isn't it? I love chasing this down because I think you talk about saying that you do things you enjoy because that's actually the key. Because like a bit like yourself, where I'm working right now, there wasn't this position. In fact, I had one person say to me, "You know what? Maybe you shouldn't be here because you should go and work for someone else that got that type of position." But I said, "I don't want to work it because I really enjoy the people I work with, and I think I've always known that's really important." And what's ended up now is there's a position. This whole stuff's just happening. And it's happening, and I'm gonna, I want to help this place get to an amazing position, and I want to use all my abilities to do that, and at the same time, do this amazing podcast because I think this podcast has got absolute massive legs, and I think, in fact, I think the podcast could be the even bigger thing in the future. I just got some, yeah, I just got some great because I just love doing it. I mean, the thing that I think what we talk about is the things that we love doing just accelerate everything, and we're talking off air about now that Lee and I've got certain brands in our businesses, and I don't know if Lee wants to. I'm going to talk about mine, but I don't know if Lee wants to talk about his. But if anyone talks about coaching at all, that has become my brand everywhere, anywhere I talk to, anybody I talk to, anyone. And Lee actually is Jose coaching. What are you talking about? Lee coined this a long time ago, and I just want to say I'm grateful for Lee for, this is why this podcast is because Lee just said, we've got to get this out there. I want to help you get this out there. And Lee's been so great. And I've always believed in Lee's abilities, even from a very, I mean, I saw, we bumped into each other a long time ago. We talked about that before, but I saw from very, very early doors like this someone here with very, very good abilities, some special abilities that I didn't have. And I still don't have really, but just complement the things that I love to do. But yeah, I just saw it from a very young age, and I saw the excitement, enthusiasm. And I thought, this is just awesome. And I remember we talked about something. I don't know if you remember, Lee, but I remember you saying, I couldn't sleep last night. This was how excited you were. And I thought, that's the reaction that I was looking for. I'd never seen it from anybody else. I'll be talking about certain things. I'll be excited. I never saw. There's not, and even to this day, no one's ever said that to me. And that I knew that was the sign that I thought, this is the sort of person that I want to work with. And although we had breaks, we talked about before, in some way, shape, or form, we had this really strange timeline for our lives, and we've just bounced back together. It's been really strange, but brilliant. I've absolutely loved it, and I want it to go on forever. And I don't think it'll ever be something that we won't have. And I'm definitely going to make every effort that we never not do that because I just want us to start. I just want this to be forever. I know things change, but I don't see it ever ending, and I want it to stay forever. And yeah, and that's what. And even from that day, and I look back, looking, connect up backwards, I just thought, yeah, it's sort of person I want to work with, and it was lovely to hear those words. Oh yeah, we can work with that, and it got me. By you saying that, got me excited. It made me believe that. You saying that made me believe in myself, right? And that's what I did. That's what I needed. Someone needed to do it for me. I believed more in myself, right? And you helped me do that. So I just want to say thank you for that because I think ever since that day, it's been some real back up and downs, but I think it's been a driver for sure. But anyway, Lee, I know I got a bit deep there, but yeah, it's what this stuff brings out, right?
Absolutely. No, it's all good stuff. I really like this quote. It's really made me think on things, and yeah, it was like I said, work thing. I was more than happy with everything, and it's like I've got a new. I feel like it's like a sliding doors moment, and there's two Lees, and one who's over here and one who's over here, and
Oh,
it's all
Lee,
good
there were
stuff.
times when I thought, there were times you were telling me stuff. I remember there was a certain situation, we can't really talk about it, but you're going, I remember you were saying, I'm fed up, and there was this thing, but I knew you'd bounce through it. I knew you would. Because you're just that sort of, you got that sort of character. And you did. And now you, literally, it's like the catapult moment. Catapult moment. I call them catapult moments because I nicked this off Simon Scribb actually. Because sometimes we have to slow down to speed up. So you pull it back and then you accelerate because you've taken a step back, you looked at things, and then boom, you just go. That's what coaching does to people. It's like you have to slow people down, then bam, you just get acceleration because reflection, plans, execution all comes in one go, and then bang, just things happen. And you feel it takes a long time, but it doesn't. When you look back, it's not that long a time. But yeah, I'm super proud of you in the stuff you've done. Yeah, some really great stuff, and
Appreciate it.
But I've seen you go through tough times, but you come through it. You always come through it. Even though I know you as yourself find it tough, you always come through it, and that's a testament to your character. And that's what it's about. It's about character building, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I say people out there, keep thinking about what you want, but don't lose sight of spotting when you get what you need.
Oh yeah, and you're going to think you don't need it, but it's come up in your life. It's suddenly becoming your consciousness because you need to examine it. Someone comes up and slaps you in the face. You need to look at that and go, what's the reason it's happening? I don't really want it, but it's like I also believe I've talked about it in the podcast before that the problems that you have are the problems you need to accelerate your life. Like, so whatever gets thrown in front of you is designed for you to grow. Although we hate to admit it, this part of the way, the stoicism actually, and I didn't know this before I got into stoicism. We talked about stoicism probably a couple of years ago, and Ryan Holiday, and he talks about the obstacle is the way. So it's like problems are designed for you. That's what I was talking about. And he coins it, and I really love it. Obstacles are the way. So the more you challenge, the way you tackle them, the way you get through them is your growth. I absolutely love that because it's absolutely true. And it builds character. But yeah, love that stuff.
So,
anyway.
No, I do too. I want to give you. I've just had an email drop through that popped up on my screen, Jose.
Ooh.
Of the Inspirational highlights of 2023 from our podcast platform provider.
Oh.
So I'm just going to throw a few things your way.
Oh, go on then, throw.
The first one is very unsurprising. That as of this moment in time, live moment, not episode moment, we release 50 episodes, one a week. And in fact, this one recording now, which is the final one of the year, is episode 52. So weekly. Awesome, most popular city for us this year in terms of downloads. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So all of you out there, South Dakota, listening to us, we appreciate you. Reach out to us at ListenToIN, ListenToIN. Let us know who you are. We appreciate you for being our top follower.
Yeah, South Dakota. Lots of love, South Dakota. Mwah, mwah,
we have been downloaded in 37 countries this year. 37. I see a lot actually from a random country where there'll be a lot in one go, which I think is people travelling on holiday. So we appreciate you filling up your time with Inspirational.
Thank you.
And our top 5 episodes this year. Episode 228, The World Ain't All Sunshine and Rainbows.
Oh, I bloody love that one.
That is our number 1 episode this year, so I thought you'd like that, Jose. Urgent and Not Important, episode 204 is number 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Lessons in Literature, I think that's one of mine, was 199.
Oh, wonderful.
Happiness is episode 224, is number 4. And Fight the Negativity, 208, is number 5.
I'll tell you what, that's a great list. That's a great list, isn't it? Yeah, so you heard it here. Go download those episodes and have a listen for yourself. See what you think. Let us know. Feed it back. Let us know.
And we have put out, at this point at 50, so you can add another 60 to this, but we've put out 1,328 minutes of waffle, quality content this year.
Hang on a minute. How many, how is that hours, did you say?
Minutes.
How many?
1,328.
1,328 minutes. Bloody hell.
That's a lot of us.
That's a lot of minutes, isn't it? I was just wondering how many minutes are in a year. That was all. Just wondering.
It's about half an hour a week, Joe. We do 20 minutes to half an hour. So anyway, and I've got a bombshell for you before we wrap up, and this is why earlier on.
I'm not sure if I'm liking this, Lee.
I thought I muted myself, and I didn't. So you heard a bit of a YouTube ad playing. Hopefully, we don't get taken off of. Well, it's a YouTube ad on YouTube, so we should be all right.
Well, they're going to be loving that, aren't they?
Rolling Stones. Where your quote comes from? Obviously, legendary rock and roll band.
Yep.
You know, there's only one song I like.
Which one?
Only one. The rest, don't get me wrong, I don't hate everything, but I'm a bit like, nah, and I wouldn't listen to them. There's only one I like. But in the converse of everything else being there, this one song is on my top 5 songs list. So they're there, but only for one. And it is Gimme Shelter. That is my...
Wow. Well, that ties in, doesn't it? A lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah. But that's my one, and the rest of them I could take it or leave it very much.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm a bit like you, Lee. I just got what I need from the Rolling Stones, right? I don't listen to the Rolling Stones, really. I don't really listen to them like you. I don't. I probably have heard that one, but I couldn't tell how it went. But
I'll give you a little go when we finish recording, so we don't get bumped off.
No, come on, Lee, sing it to me. Do you know what it is? Come on, give us burst.
No, I can't sing.
Come on, Lee. It's comfort zones. Come on, stretch. Come on, stretch. Come on, do the stretch. Come on.
And we would like to thank everyone out there for supporting us.
No, you can't.
As we are
Lee
going into our 5th year. We thank everyone. Get on, listen to those top 5 episodes, and the rest if you haven't heard them yet. Just check our archives, inspirationnation.org.uk. You can get your merchandise there as well. Loads of great stuff. There is a new website coming for 2024, which we're very excited about, especially
Oh my
one
God,
particular feature.
Lee is the man. That's what I say. Lee is the man.
And follow us on social media at Listen to IN, Listen TOIN. Jose, just look Jose Noya, Inspiration Nation, stick it in your Google machine. He will be all over the place. He loves a bit of social media.
Yes.
And as we said earlier, like, subscribe, tell friends and family, leave us a review. All that great stuff gets us out there, plays us about those algorithms. Difficult for me to say. Easy for me to say. It's all going to pieces. We've done 2 episodes in a row here. I'm getting delirious. I need to go make some food.
We used to do 1.5 episodes, Lee.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that.
We used to record 3 on the trot, Lee. You know,
in the olden days, we would take a pizza break in between, though.
Oh yeah, you want my vegetarian pizzas? I hate those vegetarian pizzas. Oh, Jose, put the vegetarian pizzas again. Anyway, cool.
Once again, to everyone out there, very, very happy New Year. We hope you enjoyed your 2023 and look
Don't sign
forward
off yet,
to
though.
a prosperous 2024. Gone.
You're not going to end this right now, are you?
Why? What have I got to do?
Because you missed something.
Is it takeaways?
Yes.
I always forget a takeaway, don't I? Jose, what is your takeaway for this week?
So, it's just really what the quote is. You know, when you get something pop up and you think, I don't want that, it's what you need. You need to attack it head on and deal with it because it will make you grow. Remember, the problems are designed for you. Obstacle is the way. A stoicism quote. So that's my takeaway.
Mine is it's not so much a statement, it's a feeling, but it just really crystallised in my head that what you need and how much of that I've actually got and how unexpected it was when it came along, which is a really reassuring feeling in a way as well. So thank you for that one, Jose. I appreciate it this week.
That's right. I have as well. I've really enjoyed this, by the way. Double header for ages, but yeah. Thank you for everybody. You know, Lee, you can sign off now because I did interrupt you yet again.
Those who joined us live on YouTube, those who joined us live on TikTok, we thank you all very much. I haven't been watching this one on TikTok, Joe, because I was busy Googling away.
That's all right. I've got people with me, Lee. You leave me on my own, but I've got a couple of people with me. So thank you so much for joining. Got Darby, got Elaine. In fact, I'm going to put quite a couple of people in here. Well, Rachie, thank you very much for sticking with us for a long time. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to like and share this. Tell other people about the podcast. We want to be out there inspiring other people by sharing our failings. I mean, that's what we want to do.
That's what we are here for. Right. 3, 2, 1. Failure Nation. Catch you guys later.
Inspiration Nation. Catch you guys later.